Hey guys, I'm Sophie, and this resin horse that I've got here is Bourbon, my NaMoPymo project for 2026. For those who don't know, NaMoPymo stands for National Model Painting Month. It's a fun challenge where artists of any skill level and age challenge themselves to paint a model horse from start to finish in just 1 month. I've attempted this challenge a couple times before, but something always ends up going wrong. My first attempt, which you can check out on my channel if you want, didn't exactly go as planned, and for other attempts, life sorta got in the way and prevented me from finishing within the deadline. But let's keep our focus on this year's attempt, shall we? This year, I wanted to paint this beautiful bourbon resin in this soft bay coat that's usually seen in drafts with this lighter shading and sweet daples that you typically don't see in regular bays. I start with this light off-white color to go into the lighter areas of this coat. The muscle, the armpits, under the belly. Those are the main areas I focus on for this layer. It looks rough for now, but as I build up the layers of paint, this won't be a problem. Then, I roughly block in some other colors just to help me with the shading and blending before I go in with my darker paints. With this, I go over most of the body and the head while avoiding the tail and the legs. I will paint those later on. After I've blocked in my colors, I focus on blending my paints before I go in with warmer and deeper colors. I blend those too as I'm adding them to the wet paint. This is why I enjoy working with oils. It's easy to blend and work with, due to the slow drying times. Every now and then, I will go in with my fluffy brush to help smooth out my brush strokes. I normally do this after I'm finished with the layer I'm working on, and I repeat this step for every single layer. I know he currently looks like he's supposed to be a nice chestnut, but I found that this helps me add some nice warmth to have under those darker brown coats. I go in with a slightly darker paint again, still focusing on those warmer tones and blending it in. I focus my darker colors on areas like his back, the sides of his belly, his cheeks and his forehead. I probably could have gone with a darker shade than this at this stage in the process, but I didn't want to go too dark too fast. Finally, I go in with a much darker brown and try my best to blend it in while being mindful of the light areas I want to preserve. In between painting sessions, my paints had started to dry up a bit, so I had to go in with a thin layer of paint, almost like a glaze, just to add back the oils to make it possible for me to continue blending as I go. My lighter areas got a lot darker during this, so I go back in with some of the same paint mixes that I used earlier to brighten up those spots again. And once I'm satisfied, I use that same paint mix that I used for my highlights to create dapples. I try and look at references for knowing where to put my dapples and roughly what size they should be, but for the most part, I just go in and make small dots where it feels right. If I mess up, I just go in with a darker paint that matches the body coat to either remove the dapples or to go in between dapples to make them smaller or to shape them as necessary. I make sure to go back and forth on my old dapples and the new ones that I make. This is so that I can soften the brighter ones up and also get back that lighter paint on my brush, because the coat underneath is still wet, so my brush picks up some of those paints with each dapple that I make. I do this until I have most of the dapples in place roughly. I work on smoothing them out and blending where necessary, but also brightening the dapples every now and then. I don't really worry about them as much in the beginning, because I will fine-tune them towards the end anyways. They can easily be removed or changed later on if needed. I go back in with my darker paints so that I can blend the dapples into the rest of the body. And then I use my fluffy brush to further soften them up. I want them to be very soft and subtle, rather than very detailed and striking. Once I'm satisfied, I go in with a much darker brown, almost black, to use on the legs and the tail. When I'm done with my first layer on the legs, I try to work on shading the underside of the belly, which I have been avoiding this entire time. As I'm working on the belly, I ended up making it a lot darker and warmer than I initially had planned to, but at this point, I decided to just go with the flow and commit to a regular dark warm bay, kind of like this. And now I can finally start going in with a dark but desaturated pink color for the lips and around the eyes, as well as work on shading around the face. Afterwards, after my paints are pretty dry, I go in with a thin layer, almost glaze-like, with a warm brown to go over the entire body to add even more warmth to him. And then I slowly and carefully block in the eyes. At this point, I was out of time, and I decided that he was pretty much finished anyways, and that this was it for my Namapaimo project. Yeah, he could have definitely got more details done, especially the hoofs, but I'm still pretty satisfied with the results. And with that, I had managed to finally complete a Namapaimo project for the first time. I had a lot of fun working on this model, and even though it didn't go exactly as I had planned, I'm still excited to plan out my project for the next year's Namapaimo, and I hope it will be even more fun next time. If you participated in Namapaimo this year, then let me know how it went. And if you didn't participate, then I hope you'll consider signing up for the next year. This video has taken me forever to edit and get out, but I've been in the process of moving to a new house, which has kept me away from my PC and my paintbrushes for a while now. But now that I'm more settled in, I hope I can finish some of my unfinished projects, as well as hopefully start some new exciting ones. And if you like this video, I hope you'll consider sticking around for the next one. Have a wonderful day, and goodbye!